two Japan volcanoes, Sakurajima, which is now erupting, and Kirishima, which is in the same area, basically south of South Korea, have a deep subterranean connection between them, according to a new study. And we're going to look at the activity on volcano discovery for both those volcanoes. The study finds a deep subterranean connection between these two Japanese volcanoes. All these images are from the Sakurajima volcano as well, except for this general one. But you'll see striking lightning bolts in the ash clouds of the Sakurajima as well. Amazing images, Getty images. Scientists have confirmed for the first time that radical changes of one volcano in southern Japan was the direct result of an erupting volcano 13.7 miles away. The observations from the two volcanoes, the area caldera, where we have the Sakurajima volcano, which is now erupting, and Kirishima, show that the two volcanoes were connected through a common subterranean magma source in the months leading up to the 2011 eruption of Kirishima. Now, these Japanese cities of Kirishima and Kagoshima lie directly on the border of the area caldera, which is where we find the Sakurajima volcano, which is erupting now. We're going to see that in a few moments on the volcano discovery maps. They lie directly on the border of the area caldera, one of the most active, hazardous, and closely monitored volcanoes in southern Japan. Identifying how volcanoes interact is critical, of course, to determine if and how an eruption can influence the activity of a distant volcano, in this case about 13 miles away, or raise the threat of a new strong explosive event. The research team from the University of Miami, and this is where we're getting this article from, University of Miami Rosenstiel School of Marine and Atmospheric Science, and Florida International University, analyzed deformation data from 32 permanent GPS stations in the region to identify the existence of a common magma reservoir that connected the two volcanoes. I support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box. Leading up to the eruption of the Kirishima volcano, which is located in the densely populated Kagoshima region, the area caldera stopped inflating, which experts took as a sign that the volcano was at rest. The results from this new study, though, indicated that the opposite was happening. The magma chamber inside the area caldera began to deflate temporarily while Kirishima was erupting, and resumed shortly after the activity of Kirishima had stopped erupting. We observed a radical change in the behavior of area before and after the eruption of its neighbor Kirishima, said Elodie Brothenland, postdoctoral researcher at the Rosenstiel School, lead author of the study, saying the only way to explain this interaction is the existence of a connection between the two plumbing systems of the volcanoes at depth. Now, we also know that the Mauna Loa, Kilauea, and Loihi seamounts of Hawaii, the Big Island, are connected. When Kilauea is erupting, Mauna Loa doesn't erupt, and Loihi doesn't erupt. When Mauna Loa erupts, Kilauea doesn't erupt, and Loihi doesn't erupt. So they found that the magma chamber, it was a chamber with 3 prongs, going into Mauna Loa, Kilauea, and Loihi. So this is the same thing, the same situation here. Now, prior to this new study, scientists had geological records of volcanoes erupting or collapsing at the same time, but this is the first example of an unambiguous connection between volcanoes that allowed scientists to study the underlying mechanisms involved. The findings confirm that volcanoes with no distinct connection at the surface can be part of a gigantic magmatic system at depth. To what extent magmatic systems are connected is an important question in terms of the hazard, said Falk Ameling, professor of geophysics at University of Miami Rosenstiel School, co-author of the study. He said, is there a lot of magma underground, and can one eruption trigger another volcano? Up until now, there was little or no evidence of distinct connections, he said. Eruption forecasting is crucial, especially in densely populated volcanic areas, Bromenland said. Now we know that a change in behavior can be the direct consequence of the activity of its neighbor, Kirishima. Now, we do have Sakurajima erupting now, and we're going to see that. Now, the findings also illustrated that the large volcanic systems such as the area caldera, where Sakurajima is, can respond to smaller eruptions at nearby volcanoes if fed from a common deep reservoir, but not all the time, since magma pathways open and close periodically. Amelang said, now we have to look whether this connection is particular for these volcanoes in southeastern Japan or are widespread and occurring around the world. The study, titled Geodetic Evidence for Interconnectivity Between Area and Kirishima Magmatic Systems in Japan, published June 28 in Scientific Reports. This is by University of Miami, and this is on phys.org. Let's go now to the Kirishima volcano and the Sakurajima. On volcano discovery, you'll see where they are, what's happening. We have some images of the area called caldera, the Sakurajima volcano, and you can see that these are the number of eruptions that we had this past year, just a few of them, okay? January, February, March, April, May, June, explosive eruptions and ash eruptions, and the number of tons of sulfur dioxide per day. I would imagine that's the rotten egg smell, but also, you have carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, nitrogen dioxide as well, coming out from the volcanic gases. But this is 1.5 to 5,000 tons a day. You can see the volcanic gases are tremendous. And these are some of the images of Sakurajima eruption. Total ash eruptions, for example, in January 21. Here we go again. Okay, by the month, that's the month total. April 2021, 34 eruptions, ash eruption, explosive eruptions, ash falls during the day. Let's go now to volcano discovery. Okay, this is the area caldera in the Kagoshima Bay of Japan, and contains the active post-caldera Sakurajima volcano. Okay, so we're going to refer to the Sakurajima volcano. And let's go now to the map. This is the Kirishima volcano. You can see this. Okay, increased activity, current status normal to dormant 1 out of 5. One of Japan's most active volcanoes. Actually, a group of 18 young small stratovolcanoes north of Kagoshima Bay, and it lists them all here. Historic eruptions have been recorded since 742 AD, and there are more than 60 recorded eruptions, mainly from Ohachi and Shimoedake, with the exception of the small lava flow in 1768 from Iwoyama. Relatively large eruptions occurred in 788 AD, 1235, 1716 to 17, and 1768, and in 2011. The violent eruption started in Kirishima on January 26, 2011, the largest one for more than 50 years. Okay, and these are the eruptions, various eruptions. The latest earthquake there was October 20th, 6 days ago, with a 2.5 magnitude earthquake. October 13th, 2.9 magnitude earthquake. Let's go now to Sakurajima. As you can see, it's basically the same area. Let's go to our map. Basically the same area. And the southern tip of Japan right there. Right there again, okay? And what's this? What's going on here? Okay. Doesn't go off. Anyway. Here, Sakurajima is minor activity or eruption warning 3 out of 5. Latest update, this is about 10 days ago, October 14th. Sakurajima, spelled Sakurajima. volcano in southern Kyushu, one of the most active volcanoes in the world, and one of the few that are at present in constant persistent activity. Its ongoing typical activity range from strong strombolian to large ash explosions every 4 to 24 hours. So these, remember the videos with the lightnings and everything, this is still going on. Sakurajima. Let's see the earthquakes. October 13, 2.9 earthquake in the Kagoshima area. Basically, it's the same area, okay? That's the same earthquake that we saw before at the Kirishima volcano. Kagoshima, okay? Right there, 2.9, it's the same one. They haven't listed the 2.5 after that, okay. The explosions as we go. This one here is ongoing, 1955 ongoing, 1954, 50, 48, 46, going all the way back almost every couple of years, all the way back to the year 708 AD. So you can see it's totally active. Here we have the aerial, it's September. Again, the aerial. Okay, so strombolian to large ash explosions every 4 to 24 hours, so every day. The volcano is located across Kagoshima Bay, which separates the city and the volcano by 4.2 kilometers of water. The summit of the volcano is only 8 kilometers east of the city of Kagoshima, with a population of 500,000. Sakurajima's eruptive history has been recorded since the 8th century. It frequently deposits ash on Kagoshima, and due to the explosive potential, it's considered a very dangerous volcano and closely monitored, even though there's 500,000 people there. The largest historic eruptions of Sakurajima took place during 1471 to 76 and in 1914. As you can see, it's just across from our beloved South Korea. I'm sorry, but I'm a K-drama freak. I'm always watching these lovely, lovely romantic K-dramas. I just can't stay with them. They're lovely. Anyway, my son was on Flight Simulator today. We flew all the way from this island here, I forget the name, Jeju, I think, Jeju Island, all the way to Seoul. It took us about, well, he stopped a couple of times to land, so he did good landings on the Flight Simulator instead of crash landing. But anyway, this is the volcano. It's always active. And ash, as we said, a large ash explosions every 4 to 24 hours. So that's what's going on there, and it's connected. These two volcanoes have a connected magma system, just like Hawaii and, sorry, there we are, oh yeah, I was looking at Hawaii before. Mauna Loa, Kilauea, and the Loihi Seamounts. When Kilauea, Loihi is here. When Kilauea is erupting, which it is now in the crater, Mauna Loa is not erupting. When Mauna Loa is erupting, Kilauea is not erupting. So they, from the 2018 eruption sequence that lasted over 4 months, the geologists did tell us that they have a shared magma chamber with 3 prongs, one into Mauna Loa, one into Kilauea, and the other into Loihi. So that's another example of connected magma chambers into the volcanoes. So that's very interesting what they found. And these two are here at the tip of Japan. So please leave your comments. Thank you very much for your support.